Hello, this is David Deshane, and I want to welcome you to this Roofing Business Blueprint sales training that's free. And I'm giving it to you guys and hopefully get you started with the new season coming up. And this is getting ready for the season. We're going to go over how to make some information packages in preparing your sales team for the upcoming season. Okay, what you're going to need to get started the new year off and get off to a great start. Some of the most important things is starting the spring season off with a new outlook. Change your mindset. We've just come out of the winter. Everybody's ready for the new season. We want to get going. Go into the season with some renewed positive energy. It goes a long way. It'll help your office people, any of your installers. The economy, it's starting to show some signs of improvement. So, use all that positive to get you going for the season. The spring is here. Let's get going. People are feeling better, it seems, about everything. I mean, even financially, people getting new vehicles. Oil's gone up. That brings up some extra money for local oil areas. I think things are better. We've been through one of the toughest times nationwide since the Great Depression. So let's just forget about what happened the last couple of years. Let's move forward. And, America basically has become a service economy. We service our own people, and that's what we do, and that's why, roofing, is really incredible in home improvements. Control your own destiny by working for yourself. I mean, instead of getting fired or laid off by somebody else, doesn't it make sense to own your own business and build your own wealth and net worth and have your own business? This is the best time to start your own roofing business. Things are cheap right now. You can buy some pretty good deals right now, some used equipment. Kind of use all the positives in this. There isn't a lot of people out there that have, a lot of guys have closed up shop. This is the best time to get out there and get started. Okay, what you're going to need first. Now, get together some money for a small advertising campaign, maybe $300 to $1,000. It's a spring promotion to get things set up. You'll need to get something, put together for some advertising to get things going. Now, contact your local paper or a small paper and make sure they have some online advertising if possible, because those online searches, very important, especially if you're looking for target areas. Now, make sure to have some written contracts with plenty of business cards available for estimates. Have all that stuff made up in a local print shop, maybe cost you a couple $100. Prepare some sales folders ahead of time, which includes everything you'll need on the estimate. There's important things you're going to need. Now, what's in the sales folder? Pretty straightforward. You're going to need some of the newest brochures for the new year with roofing products, some underlayment, attic ventilation, anything you're selling on the roofing jobs. Now, also an open letter about your company. We always include an open letter, some background about our company, and what our credentials are. A list of references of local and completed jobs, pre-existing condition acceptance sheets. If they've had a leak in the past, you want to make sure and document that. Referral sheet asking for maybe 5 friends or neighbors. And also a copy of your insurance binder. Very important to make sure you have workers' comp, liability. Call your insurance company, get a brand new one sent over, faxed over, emailed over, so you have it. And include all this stuff in your sales folder. So that way there, when you go in, you can just do it in a story format. It's real important. Now, some small newspapers can really help with some repairs. Place some repair ads. Using smaller paper is a good lead source. We use a lot of that. And we advertise for roofing repairs or roofing cleaning. It really helps out. We use the roofing cleaning ads to generate sales calls and give some repairs, our repair guys, some sales training. It's important to train these guys so they can upsell. If you go in there for a small leak around a chimney or a stink pipe boot, get them into the little sales training and show them how to upsell to that $349 to $649 and that $949, and have some closes. Have them try a few sales closes. Get that nervousness out first. Now, homeowners rarely look up at the roofs. They really don't know what they're looking at. So your repair guy becomes a salesperson. Also, one of the biggest things we use is a video camera to show them what's up on the roof. Plug into your TV and whatever else. Video cameras are so powerful and so easy to use. They can plug right in the TV. Now, this is a great way to look at roofs, and you may need might need a complete roof installation. There's not going to be any competition You're going to be the only guy there, and if you tell them it needs a roof, they're not ready to go with anybody else. You're the one that's showing them. You've already built that trust. Now, practice your sales technique. It's so important to practice. Create a PowerPoint presentation or a new sales book and include it in like a story format with photos. It's people recept stories better than they do just telling them something. So create a little story, how it's all going to go together, and then include some photos. And we have that included in one of our downloads. Now, practice your sales presentation. So important to practice. Practice makes perfect. Now, practice a couple of roofing closes. Practice those a couple of times. Practice overcoming objection statements. I understand. I can appreciate that. I see. Now, polish your sales presentation. It will make you more money in the long run. Practice makes perfect. Also, some guerrilla marketing 101. We use this all the time. Go out and get some yard signs made up. People see the signs. They know you're working, so it just builds that brand. Your supplier may create those for you for free. A lot of these, ABC Supply, whoever else you're using, they supply these free. Now, nail some signs up on telephone poles. That's guerrilla marketing 101. Now, springtime home shows or local events. Home shows are great because people see in the community, you're live, you're vibrant, you're working, you're getting things going. It's a great form of advertising. Now, radio spots advertising some springtime savings. People are just waking up after the long winter and they've noticed that they need some work done. Offer some spring savings. It gets people excited. Now, direct mailing, postcards, savings coupons. There's a lot of like Value Pack or local direct mail companies in your area you can contact for direct mailing. Find the busiest street corner signs to place a couple of signs also. Take a couple of those yard signs and go put them on the busiest intersections you can find. It's a great way to get some of that free marketing. And a lot of guys, they want to do it, but they just don't. And, a lot of these people become very lazy. Okay, make sure all your paperwork is up to date. This is important, especially with employees, W-4 forms, local state requirements if needed. You want to make sure to have all that stuff done. Now, subcontractors, make sure you have the yearly predetermination. A lot in our state, you have to have predeterminations each year. Make sure they're all up to date. Touch base with all your roofing installers. Get them excited about the upcoming year. We're going to have a great year. We're going to get started. Really make a lot of money this year. Also, make sure you have a written sales policy. You want your workers' comp, we'll be checking on that as well. And also, the OSHA first quarter sign-off sheets. And make sure to have everybody all documented and let them go through a training session about fall protection or, whatever you have to go over. Do your ladders, tools, and make sure everything's inspected and ready for use. They're going to want to see that also in your OSHA requirements. Get ready for the great season, make a lot of roofing sales, and make a lot of money. Anyway, this is David Duchesne. We'll talk to you guys soon.